So because times in the top and the bottom by the conjugate, we then will be able to simplify this down. Now the top is going to look like this. Negative 2i times negative 5 minus 2i. The bottom is negative 5 plus 2i, negative 5 minus 2i. Okay? So on the top, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up distributing. Now, this will differ based upon the problem, but the way we know we're going to distribute is because we have a monomial times a binomial. So we're going to distribute the top. Now, negative 2i times the negative 5 is a positive 10i. Negative 2i times the negative 2i is a positive 4i squared. Now, something should have dung inside of your guys' head just barely. What is it? 4. Yeah, so we already know. We'll simplify it here in a second, but I squared is negative 1, right? Over. How am I going to simplify the bottom? Yeah, FOIL. Here we go. So let's FOIL this. Negative 5 times the negative 5 is a positive 25. Negative 5 times the negative 2i is a positive 10i. 2i times the negative 5 is minus 10i. 2i times negative 2i is negative 4i squared. Okay. I just FOILed the bottom. So negative 5 times here and 2i times there. 25 plus 10i minus 10i minus 4i squared. I need to write bigger, I'm sorry. Alright, so every one of these problems you're going to FOIL the bottom. What you do on the top will differ based upon the type of problem you do, but every one of these problems you have to FOIL the bottom. Okay? Alright, here we go. So, the top, now we're going to simplify it. Anywhere you have an I squared, it becomes what? So we're going to have 10i minus 4. 4 times a negative 1 is a negative 4. Over. What happens to our middle terms on the bottom right here? Yeah, they're going to cancel. So now we'll look at this. Now we're going to have a 25 minus 4i squared. So this is 25 plus 4, or 29, and there's your answer. Now, how can this be my answer? You can't simplify it. There's not an I in the bottom. So by doing that, you're done right there. Okay? I'm going to find us one here that actually has what kind of problem I'm looking for. Or maybe not. Maybe it won't give us one like that. Here, well, let's do this one. So if we have 3 over 5 minus 4i. Okay, so we're going to times the top and the bottom by the conjugate. The conjugate is whatever the bottom is with the middle sign changed. So we're going to times the top and the bottom by the conjugate. Yep, so we only changed the middle sign. If you notice up here in the problem right above, we didn't change the negative 5. The only sign we changed is the middle sign. Okay, the only sign you change is the middle sign. Alright, so now we're to here. Everyone with me so far? So 5 minus 4i, the conjugate would be 5 plus 4i. Okay, so the top, we're going to distribute. So 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 4i is positive 12i. Over. If we FOIL the bottom, we're going to have 25 plus 20i minus 20i minus 16i squared. Yes, so anytime you multiply by conjugates, the middle terms will cancel. So anytime you multiply by conjugates, the middle terms will cancel. Now, if we look at this, we're going to have 15 plus 12i over 25 minus 16i squared. Now, we know what I squared becomes. What does I squared become? Negative 1. So this becomes negative 16 times the negative 1, which is a positive 16. So 25 plus 16 would be 41. I'm going to, there we go. Any questions so far?
Wait,
Yes.
What if, like this, the last one you said, that's your answer, you can't simplify it, so what would it look like if it's not simplified?
Just go back to the first problem. This actually, in my opinion, can be simplified one step further, even though they don't want you to. Does anyone know how you could simplify that one? This is your answer. But can anyone see what I'm talking about? Why I would think that this could be simplified one more step? No, they don't go into each other. I can factor a 3 out of the top. But anyway, it's not important. Okay. Nope. Okay, last one right here. So we have 4 minus 3i equals negative 5 plus 6i. Okay, so we're going to times the top and the bottom by what? Someone raise your hand and tell me what I'm timesing the top and the bottom by. Preston, go, what is it?
Negative 5 minus 6i.
So negative 5 minus 6i. Okay, what are we going to have to do on the top?
Well, you have to do the same thing.
Yep, we're going to have to FOIL the top and FOIL the bottom here. So everyone go through real quick, and I want you guys to FOIL the top and FOIL the bottom. Okay, hopefully everyone foiled it all right. You should have got negative 20 minus 24i plus 15i plus 18i squared on top. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then on the bottom, 25 plus 30i minus 30i minus 36i squared on the bottom. Okay, now we need to simplify. So here we go. On the top, we're going to have negative 20 minus 9i, and I'm just going to make that negative 18 right there, over 25 plus 36. The I on the bottom, remember on the bottom, if you multiply by the conjugates, it'll remove the middle terms. Okay, so the top, negative 20 minus 18 is negative 38 minus 9i. On the bottom, is that 61? Over 61, and that would be your answer. So, there's going to be 3 different ways you're going to do it. One, they're going to have just a monomial with an I. 2, they can have a monomial with just a number. And 3, they'll have a binomial or a binomial with I. All 3 ways, this is just a binomial or a binomial. All 3 ways you guys should be able